You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Welcome one and all to another episode of the NBL Live pregame show. That's brought to you each and every week by our graphics sponsor, web3ks.com. They do a ton of graphics for the entire NBL network, including that overlay you see here on NBL Live. A lot of the stuff we use in the pregame show. They're super easy to work with, and my favorite part is they are super affordable. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to web3ks.com. They are the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the commission himself, Bomber. Bomber, boy, we got a great game tonight. Giants and Vikings, two teams we've seen a couple times on NBL Live already this season, so there should be no surprises in the teams that are on the field. But these are two guys that know each other pretty well and should be an interesting matchup on NBL Live.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be broadcast number 173 of NBL Live as we steadily approach broadcast number 200. I just wanted to say that the Vikings-Giants game tonight, the Giants might be hurt, but this team, they kind of got a little rivalry with the Minnesota Vikings and vice versa, the Vikings with the Giants as well. The Giants have got the better of them early on, so there's going to be no love lost, even though there's no Davis Webb, no Odell Beckham. The Vikings are on their side saying, hey, man, we got to play without Dalvin Cook. No excuses going into this game. Vikings 7-3, Giants 6-4. Giants are at home, so the Vikings are traveling to play the Giants tonight. It looks like it's going to be a great contest.
Yeah, injury is certainly a big part of the game. And again, as always, folks, we are live both on YouTube and on Twitch, so go ahead, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button on both channels. We'll be broadcasting our NBL Live games on both avenues, so two easy ways to find us. Make sure you don't miss out on any of our NBL Live broadcasts. All right, let's take a look at what's going on around the network. And finally, after a little bit of time, the Building the Franchise came out. Jacksonville Jaguars, Unisolated version. A lot been going on in Jacksonville. A lot been going on in Unisolated's household. You know, he has the weirdest work schedule once it comes to January, but that is done. He put out an episode, actually put out two of BTF Jacksonville Jaguars, and boy, if you haven't caught up on what's going on in Jacksonville, you sure missed out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you absolutely did. He put out a two-part. Episode 13 and 14 is actually playing off of each other, both talking and getting you caught up to what's going on, even up to the date, part 2, which is episode 14 of when they just played the Detroit Lions. So you're right, caught up to date with the current action, what's going on in the NBL. Yes, Daniel Shirley, the savior of the franchise, went down, and that is why you don't see a Building the Franchise Detroit Lions. He told me he wanted to come out with back-to-back days. He's been working a lot. We had Highly Debatable come out today. So I'm thinking NBL, Building the Franchise, Detroit Lions probably coming out OSU not tomorrow, but the next day to kind of allow these two episodes to breathe a little bit. But man, I'm halfway through the first one, and I absolutely am enjoying it. Unisolated, man, he's on a journey, man. This is a guy that could not win. What was he winning? 4 games a year. Now he's somewhat competing for the division. Maybe many don't believe he's really competing, but mathematically, he's in there, man, and he's winning some games, and it could get interesting. And this is what the word of building the franchise. That's what he's doing. You know, he's trying to compete, and you see him getting better as a user. You see him getting better off the field, bringing in, acquiring new talent. He brought in Eric Ebron. I mean, your choice to decide how that's going, but he's bringing in players. He's drafting fairly well, and his defense is keeping those guys together, especially in that secondary. Jalen Ramsey is a beast. You got Boye over there as well. I really like the direction of this, so make sure you check that out. Episodes number, I believe, what is it? Episodes number
15?
I think it's 13 and 14,
13
actually.
And 14.
So 13 and 14, they're kind of play off of each other. So to watch those, binge watch those, are 9 minutes apiece. So it's 20 minutes of your day, and you get all cut up in what's going on in the Jacksonville Jaguars this season, NBL season 29.
Yeah, it's a great episode. Again, all of our original programming staying over on our YouTube network. That's at youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. You can check out all the episodes of Building the Franchise, Jaguars, and Detroit Lions. Bomber, I got to say, I love what you've been doing the last couple of weeks with BTF Detroit Lions, going to that live format with Hop. Seems like you guys, you're in the same division, so you guys know each other's rosters pretty well. So he adds a nice level of commentary, and you know how much I love the live format.
Yeah, we're thinking about removing Hop, man.
That's fair. I understand. I mean, that's the only logical move, right?
Yeah, no, Hop's been a tremendous help. He wants to be more involved. I mean, he's helping us out with Grid Weekly as well. You can go ahead and give that YouTube channel a subscribe as well. If you're watching right now, it's youtube.com/ what is it, The Grid? MBL
no,
The Grid?
see,
I don't even
here's
know.
the thing. It's,
so now we
not.
plug
You
something,
have to,
I don't even
you have to
know
search
the URL.
it. We don't have the custom URL yet because there aren't enough people following it. You can't get that
Disregard.
number of followers.
Hey,
so
but Grid
just
Weekly
search
comes
for the
on
Grid
Wednesday.
MBL.
And you can go on the Twitter account of the Grid, and they'll tell you when the show's coming on every Wednesday, right? So it should be coming out in a couple days.
Yeah, should be.
And Hop has been a great, tremendous help over there. I think we got OSU and Bananas on the call this week. You and Bananas, right? Am I wrong about that?
Nope, that's 100% correct. We're gonna have Bananas and myself on the call, bringing the NBL Live crew over to Grid Live on Wednesday. And then I actually believe, right after you just said it's on every Wednesday. It is on every Wednesday, except for next week, because next Wednesday is Valentine's Day, and we want to make sure everybody has time with their special someone. So I believe next week it's going to be Thursday. But you can find all that over on the Grid's Twitter page. Also, if anybody out there, by the way, knows Mr. Bananas, owner of the New York Giants, can somebody tell him to fix his roster so they can get in the lobby? I'm just watching Hop over and over try to get in the lobby, and he keeps saying the Giants doesn't meet roster requirement, and yeah, it's kind of fun to watch.
All right. Well, we'll just play a little pregame. I'll give him a call right now. I'll call him on his phone. So OSU just kind of stalled out a little bit.
OSU! This is called Vamp. It's called vamping. While Bomber makes the call, let's take a look at the players to watch for today's game. And these are two rosters that are fairly, some of the big names, fairly depleted. A lot of injuries right now. On the side of the Minnesota Vikings, Mackenzie Alexander is having a fantastic year, and it's a big reason why the Minnesota Vikings are sitting there at 7-3. 40 tackles on the season, 6 picks, 5 passes deflected. He also has a forced fumble, and 2 of those went back for 6. Mackenzie Alexander's just having a great year. And a big reason why these Minnesota Vikings are having a great year is the fact that this defense has been able to fight through some of the troubles the offense has had, but that offense has gotten on a roll. And with Jack Gerby at quarterback, they're the #1 scoring offense in the NBL. Something has been reserved for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Detroit Lions. Those teams have sort of dominated that #1 spot. The Minnesota Vikings coming in there, they're sitting there at 7-3. This is a dangerous team. Hey, guess what? They're in the lobby now. They fixed it. Shout out to a little pregame fun there. Appreciate Bananas and all the work he does in making sure that he has a legal roster. So, yeah.
So we're almost good to go.
Yeah, we're
all right. So let's get back on the pregame. Where are we at? Where do we leave off?
We were just talking about Mackenzie Alexander and the season he's having at cornerback for the Minnesota Vikings, and how this defense has been a pleasant surprise. I mean, they're sitting there at 7-3, but they're the #1 scoring offense, Bomber, and the defense is finding a way to score points too, which is a big reason why they're able to stay in a lot of these games. Yeah,
here's some numbers for you. It's kind of crazy how much of a ball-hawking defense this Minnesota Vikings defense has become this season, NBL season 29. Can they keep it up is the question, but I'm going to rattle off some numbers and then tell you where they finish as far as points scored, and points allowed. So, total yards on offense, they're 13th. Passing yards, they're 16th. And then rushing yards, they're 12th, okay? Then you go on the defensive side of the ball. Yards that they're giving up, they're 25th. So they're giving up a lot of yards. Passing yards, they're 24th. Rushing yards, they're 16th. But points allowed, they're 5th. And then points scored, they're 1st. So how are they doing it? They're making some big plays. Their defense is putting points on the board, which is helping their offensive points scored. But their points allowed is really low because they got a ball-hawking defense and they're creating turnovers, fumbles, getting user interceptions. They're doing it pretty much all right now. That's why they're 7-3. This defense has been phenomenal. And then the maturation of Jack Gerberry, their rookie quarterback from Florida State University, 6 foot, 216 pounds, only 22 years old. This guy, they really believe in him. And guess what they asked me before the game? They go, we're looking for a nickname for Jack Gerberry. I said, put him on a billboard, a Jack in the Box billboard in Minnesota.
Sure.
And just put Jack in the Box, the logo, put Gerberry on there, and then just put, get it? With a question mark?
I like it. No, I like it.
There we go.
I like it. I think it'd be good for, you seem like a guy like Gerberry's got to have some sort of nickname. First name, Jack, last name. It's a good name. Let's look on the other side. This is a player to watch for the big reason of he's not going to be here. Davis Webb, the quarterback for the New York Giants, he's having a nice season, 69 completion percentage. Shout out to Gronk, 105.8 quarterback rating, 17 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. But he's going to be in street clothes tonight, Bomber. No Davis Webb, out for a couple of weeks. I believe 5 weeks is the number. So we're going to see Christian Hackenberg, I believe, as the starter for the New York Giants. And if you're a Giants fan, the last thing you want to hear is Christian Hackenberg is going to be starting for you this week.
Yeah, absolutely. With no Odell Beckham either. That's going to be gone. Odell Beckham is going to be out partial ACL tear. He's going to be out 11 weeks. His season, finito. It's over. That's a little Spanish for you. It's nice. over for Odell Beckham. He's not coming back this year. He's kind of had an injury-plagued cycle, to be honest. He just has not been as consistent and healthy as they need him to be. I mean, that's probably as real as it gets in a Madden franchise mode right there. But he had 37 catches, 843 yards, and he was leading this team with 6 touchdowns, leading them in yards and in receptions. It's time for the sophomore Ben Stokes to step up. The sophomore slump, he needs to break out of it. He hasn't had a 100-yard game this season at all.
Wow.
And it's already week 11. And this is a guy who balled out last year as a rookie. He had over 1,000 yards, slightly over, with 69 catches. Shout out to Gronk, and 11 touchdowns for the 23-year-old at that time, 24 now, University of Illinois, the Illini, superstar development, 6'4", 232 pounds. He needs to have a big game tonight. He's going to have to carry the load, and Hackenberg's got to find him early and often.
We're getting some suggestions in the chat. JY, going with the suggestion of the nickname Gerberry Shortcake. I hate that. Please don't make that the nickname for Jack Gerberry. Please don't do that. Just wait,
don't. Let's give a shout out to the guys. All right, so I got about 20 people watching in YouTube. Go over to twitch.tv/MBL Network, please, and watch it from the Twitch channel. If you can watch it from Twitch, we want people to watch our programming from Twitch right now, not YouTube. But if you can only be on YouTube or you can be on both, gladly be on both.
Do it,
but
yeah.
Go over to the Twitch right now, twitch.tv/MBL Network. How many we got watching on there right now?
My count, I got 31 right now.
So 31, we got 20 watching on YouTube.
Numbers.
Let's try to get some more guys over there on Twitch. We're trying to do some things over there and really build up our Twitch brand. So we'd appreciate if all the MBL Grid guys went over to twitch.tv/MBL Network. But let's get back to talking about Mackenzie Alexander.
Well, Mackenzie Alexander and the Vikings, they're going to have a task today. That might be a lot of picks if Christian Hackenberg cannot keep the ball in his own team's hands. Don't really know what we can get from Hackenberg. Get your predictions in the chat, folks. A lot of people going Vikings. They hear that injury report. I mean, the star power that is not in this game is huge. No Odell, no Davis Webb, no Dalvin Cook on the other side. So a lot of unknowns in this game. Bomber, who do you like? The Minnesota Vikings have been hanging around 7-3. They're looking to make a charge for that division. For your Detroit Lions, they need a win today on NBL Live. The New York Giants just need a win to stay alive in the playoff hunt. Who you got in this game?
Yeah, once we get past about week 5, week 6, I start looking around the league and I start looking for must-win teams. And every time I pick my team, it's always based on the must-win. Who must win right now? Well, the Washington Redskins, who were in control of the division just a couple of weeks ago, have now fallen to 5-6. The Giants are 6-4. This isn't a must-win for the New York Giants. This is let's see what we got with Hackenberg, and if we don't like what we have, what direction are we going to go, as we're going to try to continue this playoff push and at least win the division and try to limp into the playoffs. But the Minnesota Vikings, 7-3 Green Bay Packers, 9-2 Detroit Lions. Vikings are 7-3. This is a must-win for the Minnesota Vikings. That's how they're approaching the rest of this season. This team is hot, arguably the hottest team in the league. I got to go with the Vikings. Vikings 30, and I'm going to say the New York Giants 13, and probably a little bit more than 30. It might be 38-13.
Well, we will see indeed, folks. It's time to get to the game. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning in to the NBL Live pregame show sponsored by Web3KS.com. But it's time to get NBL Live Broadcast 172 underway. Coming up next, we got a matchup between two teams needing wins to get to their eventual goal of getting in the playoffs. It's the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks. Who catches it? Makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. And we are live, Week 12 action here on MBL Live, and we got a great matchup for you. It's the 7-3 Minnesota Vikings taking on the 6-4 New York Giants. Battle out in the NFC. I'm OSU. I'm hanging with my man, the commission himself, Bomber. Bomber, the NFC is sort of a mess right now. The AFC has got a lot of teams sort of sitting there at that 500 mark. The NFC, if you're sitting there at 500, even a little below 500, as you can see the Washington Redskins, you're still very much in the playoff hunt because there's not a whole lot of teams separating themselves to the top.
Yeah, the NFC East, what we used to consider the NFC Beast, is looking more like the least nowadays. Not too much depth there this season, NBL season 29 for these four teams. Used to be a top three division in the NBL, but not anymore as the kickoff gets it down to, looks like a little bit of a muffed kick. No, it's going to be a return.
Just be a touchback.
Just a little knee touchback. All right.
Wasn't pretty, but it got the job done.
Yeah, it's two divisions. I mean, the NFC South and the NFC East has not looked good in NBL season 29, and that's what's creating this ability for someone to slip in here with a, they're hanging around at a 500 record, and they're just within striking distance. If they can just get hot, a couple of these teams, they might find themselves in the playoffs for the first time. I mean, even look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Boy, those bright red uniforms. Christian Hackenberg handed off on first down to Marlon Petway. He'll get a yard on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9. Yeah, Bobber, I mean, you look at the NFC East, you look at the NFC South. Those are two divisions that have traditionally been good. On the flip side, that NFC West, how about those San Francisco 49ers? They're having a fantastic season.
Yeah, they absolutely are, and they're kind of creating this weird situation that if the playoffs started today, the 7-3 Vikings wouldn't even be in the playoffs. That would be crazy right now. I mean, you're looking at these two teams, and you're saying nice the Vikings, throw. Man, nice throw right there, possession catch. The Vikings have to be in the playoffs, right? They missed the playoffs last year. They went and got Gerberry. They've been playing phenomenal, but if the playoffs started today, OSU, they would not be in, and you know why? You know who they can blame for that? The San Francisco 49ers, because they're 9-1, and they are just straight up balling right now. This team looks like the real deal, and Seattle's legacy of winning these divisions might be in trouble.
1st and 10 for Hackenberg, and the Giants is that long, 26-yard completion. Maybe get a little bit of those jitters out for Christian Hackenberg. They're just on the other side of midfield. The 48-yard line is going to be handoff to Marlon Petway. He gets nothing on that one, and boy, and that's something we've seen from Marlon Petway in the past, Bomber. He's a guy who loves bouncing it outside, but you keep that inside, you're at least getting some yards. Instead, you end up with no gain. Yeah,
it looks like the running game, they're trying to stay with it on first down, not really picking up anything. They're going to have to get a little bit more creative as the game progresses.
2nd and 10, shotgun formation for Hackenberg. 4 wide receivers out there. He's going to drop back to pass for a second time this game. Looks over to the left, and
oh my God,
that is unbelievably intercepted by Xavier Rhodes. And wide receivers 4, that one's not on Hackenberg. That one completely on the wide receiver out there. I believe that was Ben Stokes, usually sure-handed. Boy, that one went right through the wickets and batted all the way over to the defense. A turnover, and not getting a whole lot of help from his wide receiving course, Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, I mean, nice dig on the left side. It looked like it was going to pick up the first down. Easy, nice throw by Hackenberg. Just what he needed to kind of get his feet wet in this game. NBL Live broadcast number 173, but instead bounces right off the receiver. And the Vikings somehow come away with another interception.
Here comes Jack Gerberry, 1st and 10. He'll toss it underneath to Juju Smith-Schuster, who fumbles the ball. It's picked up by the Giants.
What's going on?
I don't know what is happening. Early in this game, Schuster dives for it, gets up, gets laid out by the defensive tackle coming the other way, and just like that, let's make up for that weird interception with a weird fumble of their own. Now Hackenberg and the New York Giants, the ball back on the 39-yard line. Stokes coming in motion. And on 1st and 10, it's a play-action pass. This looked like the PBA quick. He looks underneath. It is caught at the 31-yard line. Give him 8 on the play early in this game. Turnovers are the story.
Yeah, a lot of crazy plays to start this game. Back-to-back turnovers for both teams. The Giants got the ball back. Now they're in field goal range. I think this is very important for the Giants to kind of get a lead and set the pace of this game. No Dalvin Cook for the Minnesota Vikings. This team might look to throw the ball a little bit more, and that might create some opportunities for this Giants defense.
2nd and 1, play action pass by Hackenberg, and then he sails one to the outside. Boy, he had what looked like a skinny post right up the middle that was running pretty open. Instead, he tries to go to the flat. Nothing doing there as he threw that one thoroughly out of bounds. Luckily, there just wasn't anybody in the field of play to make that interception. Now a 3rd and 1 for Hackenberg, and the New York Giants certainly wanted to convert this 3rd and short. He's got 2 in the backfield, Petway to his left, Ingram to his right, 3 wide receivers. And on 3rd and 1, they're going to run a little option with Hackenberg, and Hackenberg's going to toss it. He's got the first down. Ingram's got more. Touchdown, Giants. A little speed option to the outside. He pitches it, and Ingram walks into the end zone. What a play call by the New York Giants, getting Christian Hackenberg to make a right read there. Oh, man, you've seen so many quarterbacks make the wrong read on that one and try to do the shovel. He took the easy pitch and took the easy 7.
Yeah, nice read right there by Christian Hackenberg, getting a little tricky with the offensive playbook. We have yet to see that from the New York Giants this cycle. A nice little shovel option play ran there to Evan Ingram. I mean, are they getting a little inspiration from what we saw in the NFL Super Bowl just last night? Running a couple trick plays in kind of similar situation. You saw the Patriots run a play. They tried to throw it to Brady. He couldn't hold on to it, but very similar stuff we're seeing to pull out of the playbook.
Pirates Future 35 now following here on Twitch. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of our followers. 1st and 10 for Jack Kerberry and the Minnesota Vikings. Deep pass over the middle. It's caught by Stephon Diggs. Nice possession catch at the 49-yard line. And no fumble on that play. No turnover there. Minnesota driving. You're going to see this connection from Kerberry to Diggs all night long.
Yeah, one of his favorite players to pass to is Stephon Diggs. Why? Because he's got the sure hands on the season, leading the team. 28 catches, 551 yards.
1st and 10 for Kerberry and the Minnesota Vikings. 3 wide receivers out there. He drops back pass. Big blitz coming. It's picked up. He's taking a deep shot to Smith-Schuster. He's open, and nobody's catching the speedster. Touchdown, Vikings. Juju makes up for the fumble on the first drive by taking this one 49 yards to the house.
Yeah, you don't think Juju is a kind of receiver that can really get over the top of the defense. Not really too quick or too fast, but right there he just catches the defense in a pressed-up situation. He beats the press and maintains his leverage, and now it's 7-7, and you would like to see the Giants show a little bit of fight there. There's no Dalvin Cook on this team. This is probably going to be a lot more pass-happy of a team right now. Here was your opportunity to kind of say, hey, maybe we can go up 2 scores if we get a stop here, but no, the hot Minnesota Vikings, arguably the hottest team in the NBL right now, respond right back, and now it's 7-7.
And we've always known this New York Giants defense to be aggressive. A lot of man blitz, a lot of press, and right there they got burned because of it. Now Hackenberg and the New York Giants back out on the field. Handoff to Marlon Petway over the right side. He's got a lot of room over there. He'll get near the 1st down marker to the 36-yard line. Give him 9.5 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and inches. And how important is it, Bomber, for the New York Giants to get that run game going, to take some pressure off of Christian Hackenberg?
It's extremely important. Petaway needs to go for $150 tonight for the Giants to have an opportunity to win this game. One thing they do have going for them, they are at home. Hackenberg said he was a little bit more comfortable playing at home to get his little debut here for the New York Giants with an injured star quarterback for the Giants. It's going to be good if Petaway can go for about $150 tonight.
And he got a nice hole up the middle there. Good blocking up front. He'll get the 1st down up to the 43-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. Again, we appreciate each and every one of you tuning to NBL Live broadcast. Number, what are we, 172? Is that what we are at?
173.
173. Boy, we're getting so many broadcasts, I'm losing count at this point. I'm Oshio.
It's turning into like a social security number very quickly.
Right? We're going to get to a phone number soon. 1st and 10. Shotgun formation for Christian Hackenberg. 3 wide receivers, 2 over the right, 1 over the left. Man going in motion on 1st down. They're setting up a screen the other way, and there's a lot of blocking over there, and they did a great job of making sure their receiver didn't get farther downfield. Blocking the wrong sort of player. Loss of 1 on the play as Porter goes down for a loss of 1 at 2nd and 11 now.
Yeah, a lot of room right there. That's got to be disappointing. If you're a Giants fan, you were thinking, man, we got 20, 30 yards ahead of us, blockers downfield. This could turn out to be big, but instead he runs into his blockers and picks up a loss of 1.
2nd and 11, Hackenberg. He's going to go down straight, bull rush up the middle by Tapper, and he brings down Christian Hackenberg. 1st sack of the game, and now we get to see what Hackenberg is made of, Bomber, because he's facing a 3rd and long. Let's see what sort of play calling comes from the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, you got to play it smart here if you're the New York Giants. Understand who you have under center, and let's not try to force anything down the field.
Well, they're going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 18. He looks down the middle of the field, and that one should have absolutely been intercepted. Sutton, I think, was licking his chops a little bit and saw the green space. He would have had to run that one downfield. Bad pass by Hackenberg. Almost turned into a disaster. Instead, the Giants are just going to be forced to punt this one away.
Yeah, bad decision-making early from Christian Hackenberg. Overthrow on a drag, and right there, just they thought he saw cover 2. It was actually a 2 show 2. It was a cover 3 as they rolled right into it as the safety came down and played a light blue. Now, if you're the Giants right now, you got to sit Hackenberg down and tell him, okay, calm down. Look, let's not try to get it all. We don't need you to pick up a 3rd and 18. You know, give us something. Give one of our receivers an opportunity to run down the field. Let's not make it all about your arm driving the ball down the field.
First and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings as Jack Gerber drops back to pass on first down. He looks over to the left side. It's complete to Stephon Diggs, who looked like he was going for a hurdle there. That one completely snuffed out by Collins. It is a first down nonetheless, and Jack Gerber and Stephon Diggs have great chemistry out there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's only going to get better. Gerber, just a rookie right now, still trying to establish himself as an elite quarterback in the NBL.
Play action pass rolling out to the right is Gerber. He has a man wide open. It is Bucky Hodges, the tight end, who catches it at the 43-yard line. A lot of the injuries on the offensive side of the ball for the New York Giants, but this defense so far getting torn up by the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, this is a defense that came in and has slowly regressed each season since we've got Madden 18, since NBL season 26. Currently, they're seventh in the league right now, only giving up 18 points per game, but they're not good against the pass. They're 17th against the pass. Is a nice play right there. Number 39 runs a halfback blast, picks up 4. That's Mike Davis. Nice run and nice carry right there, but this Giants team really struggles against the pass, and it looks like Minnesota's looking to exploit that early in this game.
And New York, I think, thought they had one of the big pieces. They signed Reggie Ragland over from the Pittsburgh Steelers, thought that would sort of be a piece that would solidify this defense. Instead, they've had some troubles this season. We're seeing early in this game the Minnesota Vikings exploiting that pass defense without Dalvin Cook. You got to see something more from the pass defense of the New York Giants as Davis trying to get something on the outside, and he's going to get nothing there down to the 39-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Bomber, how do you play this Minnesota Vikings team? They don't have Dalvin Cook, so if you're the New York Giants, do you back off of the aggressive blitzes and play more zone, or what do you do to play a team that's going to be throwing it more?
Well, they're spreading them out right now. We saw this a couple games ago. This looks like it could be a run with 4 wide receivers. I'd play the pass, though, because they don't have Dalvin Cook. You have to think this might be a passing down for the Minnesota Vikings.
3rd and 5. It is a pass indeed. Driving back on 3rd down, and down goes fumble, and Gerber, he's picked up by the Giants. The big fella, he's running with a lot of open space. Nobody's catching him. The opportunistic New York Giants defense, they get a touchdown as Zeman ran that one all the way to the house. The booth is going to review this one, though, if it gets overturned, and it is. Oh, man. 7 points taken off the board. The Giants thought they had a big turn of events.
Yeah, I mean, what just happened right there? That was an opportunity there for the Giants to go up big, and essentially the Giants get it taken back. Number 55, he was dancing into the end zone, and no mas. It's going to be a punt here from the Minnesota Vikings.
So the Giants will get the ball back, but they sure would have liked those easy 6 points. A nice sack nonetheless, but can't believe that one got overturned. It was close, and Jack Gerber is on the sidelines thanking his lucky stars. That one didn't turn into 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to hang on to the ball. You have to be smart with the football. I know you're playing with a defense that's ball hawking and getting a lot of turnovers, but let's not take that for granted. You have to do your part as a quarterback. Be a little bit more aware. I would have liked him to step up in the pocket and kind of throw that one away if he didn't like what he saw, but instead he takes a sack and he fumbled the ball. I know it got overturned, but still a mistake that he has to learn from as this young quarterback matures.
As we've reached the end of the first quarter, a lot of action here early on NBL Live Broadcast 173, Week 12 action, 7-7 your score. I'm Oshu. I'm hanging out with my man Bomber. And again, folks, check us out here on Twitch at twitch.tv/NBL Network. And all of our content archived on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. Be sure to check that out. All of our original programming, the archives of all of our NBL Live games. 2nd and 8, handoff to Petway over the right side. Not a whole lot there. Great job by that Minnesota defensive line. It's interesting. These two offenses are going to play opposite today. No Dalvin Cook for the Vikings. They're going to try to be more pass-heavy. The Giants, no Davis Webb, no Odell Beckham. They're certainly going to rely on Marlon Petway more today.
Yeah, usually when you see the Giants in a 2nd and 8 and they have a healthy Davis Webb and a healthy Odell Beckham, you're thinking this is a pass, maybe a screenplay, but they're going to get it in the hands of one of their deadly wide receivers or even one of their deadly tight ends like Evan Ingram, the speedster. But instead, they opt to run the ball here, and now Hackenberg's in a 3rd and 9. Yeah,
another 3rd and long. Last time 3rd and long, it was Hackenberg throwing it into the defender's hands. Hackenberg moving around in the pocket. He'll take the underneath throw. It is complete, and it's going to be a first down, it looks like, to the 30-yard line. Christian Hackenberg not trying to do too much on that play. Sees the receiver open underneath, and that's Sterling Shepard with a big catch and a first down for the New York Giants.
Yeah, nice throw, nice catch, but more importantly, nice patience from Hackenberg. He realizes I don't have to throw it for 8 yards because it's a 3rd and 8. I can actually go underneath and allow my receivers to run for the additional yards, and that's what he did there. Beautiful patience and nice throw from Christian Hackenberg as he tries to settle into this game.
Tight end coming in motion from the right side over to the left. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff to Marlon Petway. I think the Minnesota Vikings, they're starting to realize what the New York Giants are going to be doing. Lots of runs on first and second down. They're selling out and putting a lot of guys in the box, making it for tough running for Marlon Petway.
Yeah, as I said earlier, Petway's got to go for a $150. I need to see this guy a $150, 2 to 3 touchdowns. He needs to ball out for the Giants to have any kind of chance in this game. Let's see if they can get him going and he could break a big one here.
2nd and 10, Hackenberg under center, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers out there as he drops back to pass on second down, looking, he looks underneath, and that one off target. He was looking for, I think that was Sterling Shepard underneath, incomplete pass, going to be a 3rd and 10. So far, Hackenberg, well, he has 1 interception. That one was not his fault, but he's been a little erratic on some of those throws that look like easy completions.
Yeah, right there, I think he missed a quick out on the right. It was the tight end, Evan Ingram, breaking open. That should have been open there for them. We've seen a lot of man coverage thus far for the Minnesota Vikings.
3 wide receivers once again for Hackenberg. 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Marlon Petway in at halfback. He is to the left of Christian Hackenberg. Ben Stokes alone on that right side. Watch for him, 3rd and 10. Hackenberg dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Good coverage downfield, and Hackenberg's going to go down. Sacked once again by Tapper coming up the middle, and it's going to be another punt for the New York Giants and the Minnesota Vikings. Defensive line playing stellar early in this game, stopping Marlon Petway and getting to the quarterback.
You know, how easy is it to play against a team that you know, hey, man, we can run a lot of man here. We don't have to worry about Odell Beckham breaking us off anywhere, and there's really no receivers that really have that much threat. As he gets to the outside to the left, he's looking to make a move. Gets down to the 46-yard line. A nice return there, punt return for the Minnesota Vikings. But you know, the Minnesota Vikings say, we're going to get aggressive, we're going to press up, we're going to be in man coverage here because we're not afraid of any of your receivers beating us over the top. And that's a real luxury and puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback. And I don't know if Hackenberg's ready for that.
Now back on offense, the Minnesota Vikings. Good field position. It's going to be a handoff on first down. Davis right at the middle. Big hole. And he takes a big hit at the 43-yard line, but gets the first down. I don't care if you have Dalvin Cook or a short order Cook at running back. With the amount of room that he had up the middle, that's an easy first down for this Minnesota Vikings offense.
Absolutely. Just an easy run right there. Counter play, all the yards in front of them. Let's see if they can capitalize. They got themselves out of field goal range being in this exact spot just a possession ago.
And under center once again is the quarterback, Jack Gerber. He's got Davis in the backfield. He's going to drop back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking. He'll toss this underneath to Dahlman. Tries to make a move, but he'll be taken down just shy of the first down marker. Gerber is 6-6, 124 and 1 touchdown. Bomber, this Vikings team, they really haven't been stabilized at the quarterback position. Teddy Bridgewater hurt a lot. They've sort of fallen out of favor, but Jack Gerber, the rookie, comes in this season. They love what they have in this kid.
Yeah, and he's getting protection. I mean, all the time in the world right there to make that throw, and he makes a beautiful throw. And let's see if he can continue that on this drive.
2nd and 1, dropping back to pass is Gerber. He'll take what the defense gives him, pass it underneath to Juju Smith-Schuster, spinning his way up to the 20-yard line. Smith-Schuster bringing a lot of speed to this Minnesota Vikings offense. He has been a big part because they love him in the slot, opposite of Beckham and Stokes. Now with no Odell Beckham out there, Smith-Schuster's going to be relied on a whole lot more today.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got the hands and the ability to kind of take advantage of those opportunities that are going to come his way.
1st and 10, shotgun formation for Gerber. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Davis in the backfield as he changes up the play, surveying the New York Giants defense. They're in the red zone, dropping back to pass. It's Gerber. He looks over the middle of the field, has a man, wide open, touchdown, Vikings, as Turner gets into the end zone. Somebody went down on that play with an injury. We'll get that one to you once we find out. But beautiful patience by Jack Gerber, staying in the pocket and delivering a strike over the middle.
Yeah, how do you leave Turner open? Turner's their slot receiver. He's got a linebacker on him. He's 95 speed. Why is there a linebacker on him in man coverage on a 95 speed wide receiver in the slot? It does not make any sense what the Giants are doing. And I'll tell you what, that fumble recovery that got called back was the Giants' opportunity. I think they might be for a big trouble right now. They might be in for a big hurt the rest of this game. I don't know if they can climb out of even a 7-0 deficit.
Hawkins went down on that play. We'll see if we see him again. They're saying it's nothing serious. Here's what I'm surprised about. 2:33 left. We're about to hit halftime. We're about to hit the 2-minute warning. With Christian Hackenberg at the helm, boy, it seems like the New York Giants have been working downfield a lot. They haven't done a real good job of getting Hackenberg into a rhythm and working some of those underneath routes.
A couple underneath routes got thrown kind of poorly for Hackenberg early.
Another run on first down.
And then the runs on first down being so systematic right now, it seems like the defense is really keying in on that, seeing a lot of man coverage. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings really believe that this offensive unit for the New York Giants can beat this man coverage, this secondary that they have in the backfield.
Low Gang 6783 now following here on Twitch. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of our followers. 2nd and 10. Dropping back to passes Hagenberg. He'll toss this underneath to, it looks like that's Evan Ingram with the catch. He gets hit hard at the 29-yard line, but he'll get 3 on the play. Gonna bring up a 3rd and 6, and they have been in these 3rd and medium, 3rd and longs a whole lot today. It's a big reason why Hagenberg hasn't been able to find any sort of rhythm. Let's see what he can do with this 3rd and more manageable as we've hit the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I need to see a score here from the New York Giants. 3rd and 6. We need to keep the chains moving. We don't want to give the ball back to this hot Minnesota Vikings offense. They've put together 2 really nice drives here to score. I don't know if the Giants have enough on defense, enough talent to kind of make those stops and get those turnovers that they might need if Hackenberg can't move the ball.
3rd and 6 for Hackenberg and the Giants. He's in the shotgun bunch formation, 3 over to the left side, 1 over to the right as Hackenberg dropping back to pass. Boy, he's got a lot of guys open. He finds one of them, finally gets rid of the ball, gets to the 48-yard line. There's a lot of receivers over on the left side. He looks over to the right and finds Ben Stokes and gets a 1st down as they're on the other side of midfield, running that hurry-up offense. Hackenberg in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass on 1st and 10. Looks to the flat, another incomplete pass. You know, Bomber, I've noticed that in this particular game, in Madden 17, you were able to use that left stick a lot and steer the ball. With inaccurate quarterbacks, you do that in this game, and it's going who knows where.
Yeah, and if you don't set your feet in this Madden as well with an inaccurate quarterback, you're going to be in trouble as well. Right there, a little hurried throw for Christian Hackenberg.
And now an easy throw to the outside. Ingram gets hit well out of bounds. He's going to be short 3rd and 1. I'm surprised they didn't get the 1st down in that play. He had plenty of room to get it. Instead, he just takes and goes out of bounds. Minute 38 to go. How important is it for the Giants to get points on this drive?
Absolutely, and they're within that sweet spot where you can go for it on 4th down if it's 4th and 2 or shorter. They're 3rd and 1 on the 39. Between the 38 and the 43, they can go for it. So I expect to see a run here, and if they don't get it, probably go for it on 4th down.
3rd and 1, bunch formation over to the right. Now he's going to split that up, put 2 wide receivers over on the left side, 1 over to the right. Marlon Petway now to the right of Christian Hackenberg. 3rd and 1, he drops back to pass, looking over the middle, and that's picked off by the Minnesota Vikings. Getting in with a pick. He's got a lot of room on the left side. Hackenberg goes up and makes the tackle. Boy, that's a boneheaded throw, a rookie mistake, as that linebacker was sitting in the middle of the field. You could see that pick coming from a mile away. The only person out there who couldn't see it was Christian Hackenberg.
Yeah, that was just a bad decision by the quarterback. You can't make that throw right there. I don't like how he audibled into a pass. He should have stayed with the run and just ran it up the middle.
Now a big opportunity here for the Vikings as it's a toss to the right side. It's Smith-Schuster tries to make a move on the outside. The man coverage out there, the user coverage recognized. And that's a 1st down once again. Juju Smith-Schuster's 4th catch of the day, and the Minnesota Vikings have a huge opportunity to go up by 2 scores.
Yeah, nice little, I like the air that he put under that ball right there. Becoming a real fan of Jack Gerberry. He's putting the nice touch on the ball, and he's really abusing Janoris Jenkins over there. Janoris Jenkins, 31-year-old cornerback. He really just doesn't seem like he can hang with any of these receivers that Minnesota has.
Gerberry looking over to the left side for Treadwell. Dangerous throw. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Vikings. What a throw by Jack Gerberry. That was a tiny window he had to throw that to. He throws it outside shoulder, and Treadwell reaches it over the pylon. The Vikings get a 2-score lead.
Yeah, nice throw right there by Gerberry. He notices the hard flat coverage. He's got the C route on the left side, a halfback coming to hold the hard flat. He's got one-on-one coverage. He heads it right to the pylon. Nice throw, nice catch. Beautiful timing, beautiful execution for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, Jack Gerberry showing off here in the 1st half against the New York Giants, up 21-7. And now the New York Giants are in a real pickle because the Minnesota Vikings are getting the ball at halftime. They need to get some points on this drive to stay in this game. And Christian Hackenberg has to make better reads than he did on the last throw. I formation, Marlon Petway at the top of that I, 2 wide receivers out there. And on 1st and 10, it's going to be handoff to Marlon Petway. And the 1st down run once again. That one probably their most successful run on 1st down. It goes for 4 yards, but they're getting pretty predictable on the offensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. You're seeing a ton of cover 2 man from these Minnesota Vikings. They feel like they can match up, press up, and then they don't have to worry about getting beat over the top. They're loving this defense right now as they continue to call cover 2 man against these New York Giants.
2nd and 6, 2 tight ends on the right side, 1 wide receiver out there. He's going to hand it off to Marlon Petway, trying to find some room out there. Just a one-on-one play made on the outside, able to bring down Marlon Petway after a gain of 1. Now a 3rd and 5 as Trey Wayne's coming up and putting on some of that run-stopping ability they love out of their cornerback.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice play right there by Trey Waynes as he comes down and he makes a tackle on Marlon Petway. That's not an easy tackle to make, especially if you're a player in the secondary. Probably likes to cover more than tackle, but he comes down and does his job, and that's what you see a lot from these Minnesota Vikings defensive players.
Clock running down 3rd and 5. It's going to be a handoff to Marlon Petway. Boy, he's got some room out there. it's got to be disappointing for the Giants. They're going into halftime now. They're down 14. They ran the ball 3 times. No confidence in Christian Hackenberg. But they get a nice run on 3rd down because they didn't use any timeouts, because they killed the clock. Instead of having maybe an opportunity to get a field goal, they're now going to trust their defense to stop Jack Gerber. And so far, the New York Giants defense hasn't done anything to stop this passing attack.
No, not at all. The New York Giants defense has been just a lame duck defense so far. Janoris Jenkins has not looked good. He's been getting shredded over there by Schuster. You see him far right over there. Just watch him over there. He's been getting diced up all game.
And guess what? Smith-Schuster with another catch at the 36-yard line. Gerber, perfect. 11 of 11, 211 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The thing that's been most impressive for me, Bomber, is he's been working underneath. He's been working over the top. He's been working those intermediate routes. It's not like he's locked in on one sort of route. He is using the entire field and every wide receiver.
Yeah, every wide receiver, but primarily whoever the heck Janoris Jenkins is trying to cover, because that has not been working for this team.
Try to run it on 1st down. Davis nowhere to go. Loss of 2 on the play. While we have a moment here in the 3rd quarter, want to give a big shout out to a graphic sponsor, web3ks.com. You see that overlay here on NBL Live, all the graphics we use during our pregame show. That's a big part of Web3KS. They do a ton of work for us. They're super affordable, so if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, go over to web3ks.com. All business will take care of you. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. 2nd and 12 for the Minnesota Vikings. Gerber in the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass once again on 2nd and 12. Looking, and he'll take the flat route. It is Davis making a spin move. Takes a big hit, though, at the 43-yard line, but he'll get a good chunk of that back up to the 43. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4, and the New York Giants need a stop bad to stay in this game.
Now, how nice is it to have all that time in the pocket and then throw the ball 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage or right at the line of scrimmage and just walk for 8 yards, take a big hit, hold on to it. Now you're in a 3rd and manageable. This is going to be tough to stop if you are the New York Giants defense.
Now Gerber's going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 4. He's looking, looks over the middle of the field, a little dig route to Stephon Diggs, and why not? 1st down, Minnesota, as Jack Gerber, a perfect 13 for 13. He finds Stephon Diggs, and he is seeing the entire field right now, Bomber. This guy is looking like a top 5 quarterback in the NBL.
Yeah, what he's looking for right there, you got the seam route, then he sees the halfback go to the flat, he sees the drag, and then he goes next level to the dig, which is wide open. And if you don't get pressure on him, you're going to be in for a long night. The New York Giants need a turnover here desperately.
Yeah, watch Perriman running this post route, skinny post over the middle, right over the top, touchdown Vikings! The route is on as Jack Gerber is finding everybody his 4th touchdown pass of the game. You can see that one set up from the beginning, no high safety, and he puts a teardrop right into the arms of Perriman.
Yeah, you can't defend like that. You can't defend like that against this team. Brashard Perriman comes in. He's nothing but speed. He's going to beat you over the top. So how do you combat that? You decide, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and press up and not going to give any help over the top. And 95 speed burns you over the top on that post route as he lobs it right up. This is a guy that's got 4 catches now for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's in there to make big plays. He's in there to go over top of the defense. And that's exactly what he did right there against the New York Giants.
Boy, here's all I'm saying. It doesn't look like the Minnesota Vikings are missing a beat without Dalvin Cook. They're up 28-7. The New York Giants need to find some offense and need to find it fast. Let's see if they run it on 1st down. They finally do a play action on 1st and 10. Oh, he had a man open over the left side. He's going deep to the left side. Sutton running over there makes the play defensively. He had the crosser on the right side with separation. Instead, he tries to take the deep post. It's an incomplete pass. And Christian Hackenberg, well, as a lot of people have been saying in the chat, he's looking like a hack for sure.
Yeah, definitely tunnel vision there, not making the right decision. Had a man open across the field, had all the time to throw it to him, just doesn't make the right read.
2nd and 10, throw over the middle, and a nice throw there by Hackenberg. 8 of 15, 97 yards and 2 interceptions. Boy, one of those interceptions wasn't his fault. The other one was 100% completely his fault, but they finally get a 1st down. Bomber, I keep looking back. You're 100% right. I keep looking back at that fumble that got overturned. It seemed like that took a lot of the air out of the stadium and a lot of air out of the New York Giants.
Absolutely. You know, you look at that fumble, that could have really gave them a lead and kind of put the Vikings on their heels, and they just didn't have an opportunity to do that.
Hackenberg looking 1st and 10. He has a man over the middle. He throws it. It's complete. 1st down, spin move, and more. He's up to the 25-yard line, gets taken down at the 23 as Hackenberg, I mean, he completed that pass. It was a nice throw down the middle. It just seems like he's not reading the field, whereas Jack Gerber is seeing everything right now. That was a late read. He had some open receivers, maybe locking in a little bit as he's going to have 3 wide receivers over the left side. And on 1st and 10, it's a slow counterplay for Marlon Petway. He's going to find a way to get 2 yards on the 1st down run. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8. The New York Giants need to get this offense rolling. The Giants, a team, Bomber, who's been known for their high-flowing offense.
Yeah, high-octane offense, fast-paced. You kind of got to slow it down when you got a Hackenberg under center. Got to be a little smarter here inside the red zone as they approach the red zone here. They need to make the right play.
2nd and 8. He finds a man underneath. He's wide open. He's trying to get to the pylon. Touchdown, Giants. Oh, boy, how needed was that as Porter coming across from the right side over to the left. Hackenberg finally completes one of those underneath throws. He gets to the pylon as the Giants have cut this back to a 2-score game. A lot of movement on the left side of that Minnesota line. Trying to get a jump there. It's up and it's good. Man,
I'm down.
Yeah,
a little excited over there.
Yeah, it looked like they were listening to a little bit of Destiny's Child, a little bit of jumping over there. Got it. Boom.
Yeah, man, every time you say Porter, though, with the New York Giants, I just think, wait. Porter's suited up for the Giants, so it's kind of confusing on that end. If you don't know, Porter is the owner of the Washington Redskins in the Madden Bomber League. You can join our league. Go to 365.maddenbomberleague.com for an opportunity to join our Grid Development League. Work your way up through the Development League, get in our top 5 program, and get yourself into the NBL.
Gates going in motion from the left over to the right. It's going to be a handoff on 1st down to Davis. He's got a lot of room out there. He's got the 1st down and more. There's one man back there. He cuts it back inside. Boy, looked like it was going to be a game, but then the New York Giants bad tackling comes back to bite them. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Who as Davis finds the end zone. I might have found part of the reason why the New York Giants are struggling today. Our very own owner of the New York Giants, Bananas, in the Twitch chat. Buddy, focus on the game. You're down 21. Stop chatting, stop trash talking, and get out there and play a better game.
Yeah, that's a common staple run right there. You see the guy go in motion from right to left. You know it's coming to the right. You just have to make sure you're base aligned and have enough defenders over there to try to make a play on the ball, and they didn't there, and then they switched off the user. It just really didn't make any sense for the New York Giants.
Yep, back to a 21-point game just like that. The rushing attack of Minnesota, and boy, look at this, Bomber. This team, number 1 in the NBL scoring offense at 31 points. They've already surpassed that, and we're at 2:36 to go here in the 3rd quarter. That's a high-octane offense.
That is very high-octane.
Play-action pass for Hackenberg. He looks over to the right side and almost picked off. That was a nice play by Kendrick getting in front of that play. Triple coverage on the right side. Almost intercepted. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. And, boy, it's not looking like if you pick the New York Giants to win this game, you're going to win your bet because so far the Minnesota Vikings have been the better team in every facet of the ballgame.
Yeah, and cover 2 man seems to be the staple of this defense in Minnesota. They're running it a lot against the Giants. They don't think they have anybody that can beat them over the top.
And Sutton had an opportunity there to take that one to the house. Makes the play on the receiver instead. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Again, folks, we appreciate each and every one of you over on our YouTube at youtube.com/Madden Bomber League and here on Twitch at twitch.tv/NBL Network. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live broadcast number 173 here on the NBL Network. Give us a follow. Hit that subscribe button if you're over on YouTube. You don't want to miss any of the content we have going on. Live games as well as original programming over on the YouTube channel. 3rd and 10 for Christian Hackenberg. Blitz picked up nicely. He makes a nice throw over the middle. It is complete to the 34-yard line. 11 of 21, touchdown, 2 interceptions for Christian Hackenberg. Noble, his 2nd catch of the day, but if you remember in that first half, Noble was the one who dove for that ball and, well, went right off the wickets and into the hands of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, an unfortunate event there, and then they had a fumble that they picked up. They thought they scored on it, got called back. That really hurt this team.
Xavier Rhodes coming up to make the tackle on Ingram. He's going to get a 6-yard gain, though. Going to bring up a 2nd and 4. As Plumlee coming back. I left for 5 minutes. What happened? Well, the Minnesota Vikings, this offense is rolling. The Minnesota Vikings appear to be playing against no defense whatsoever. The New York Giants having a whole lot of trouble stopping this high-octane Minnesota Vikings offense. As Petway going in motion, it's going to be handoff right up the middle, and nobody was fooled by all that movement. Porter gets absolutely obliterated in the backfield. Loss of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, what's going on here for the New York Giants? They got to make a play here, 3rd and 6. It might actually even be 4th down territory for the New York Giants if they pick up a few here just to try to keep the drive alive. Right now they're down 21 points. They just need to get going. They need a little spark right here. They need to get some juice, and their defense needs to come up with a play, and that needs to happen really quickly in a short amount of time.
3rd and 6. Hackenberg dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Steps up in the pocket, looks over the middle of the field, and that one's picked off by Akeem Talib, who's going to return this one, shaking off tacklers. Back to the 47-yard line. Talib jumped that route the entire way. The 3rd interception for Christian Hackenberg, and the Minnesota Vikings are in control. The Boo Birds are out in New York.
Yeah, Keep Talib showing that he still has a little bit of juice left, and if you put him in a small amount of space, he can still get it done, and that's exactly what he's doing here for the Minnesota Vikings defense, as this team is on a mission right now.
Davis running that counterplay to the outside. Nice blocking out there. He's going to get Looks like 3 on the play. 6 carries, 93 yards for Davis in duty. 4. Dalvin Cook out with the injury. Decky Dog in the chat saying he's got Giants next. I don't know. This Giants team with Christian Hackenberg, it's a different animal. It's the handoff right up the middle to Davis. Not a whole lot there. It just seems like without Odell Beckham, without Davis Webb's 2 big losses, Bomber, this New York Giants offense is very pedestrian, and they're having a lot of trouble moving the ball.
Hey, you've seen a lot of bad decisions from Christian Hackenberg, even though that last throw, I think, was just, that was just a skill opportunity there for the defense to make a play. I don't think it really was a knock on Hackenberg. I think he made the right read. He just got picked off.
Sack on 3rd down. Finally getting to the quarterback is Mitchell. Minnesota will be forced to pump this one away. I don't think they're feeling too bad because their defense has been playing stellar. Their offense has been real good early in this game as this punt is away. I believe, even with, because the sack is not an incompletion, I believe Jack Gerber is still perfect on the day. We have to check that one. But, boy, Jack Gerber has made a name for himself here on NBL Live. What a better time to put up one of your best games than on NBL Live Broadcast 173.
Yeah, and this is the second team they played that hasn't had their quarterback or #1 wide receiver, and their defense is jumping. They're just chewing at the bit to get an opportunity to ball out against some of these teams, and they're trying to say, hey, man, we're here to play, and we're one of the top teams in the league, and if you don't believe us, just watch. Nice pitch to the outside, but no blocking there from number 60.
And we talked about this earlier. I think JY pointed out in the chat earlier. He is the one who, on the screen pass, held up Porter so that he couldn't get any yards. He also got absolutely trucked up the middle a couple times by Tapper for the sack. He's having a rough game there at the left guard position.
Absolutely.
Looking down the field all the time in the world, and that just nobody's open. And Christian Hackenberg held that way too long, stayed in the pocket way too long. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long as we've hit the 4th quarter. The New York Giants are just trying to get out of here with everybody intact. They need to get healthy. I just think that this division is a mess, Bomber. I don't know who is the best team in this division right now because nobody's playing particularly well.
Yeah, nobody is. I mean, this is a division that's up for grabs, but Porter really doesn't want it. As Hackenberg tries to take a shot down the field, that's going to be an interception.
And he's got some room on the left side as he trips over Kendricks, who's going up to make a block, but he's still on his feet. He's to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, dives to the pylon. Hackenberg with the tackle, though, to keep Rhodes. No pick 6 on my watch as he throws his 4th interception, but makes a nice defensive play.
Yeah, nice little tackle right there. I mean, doesn't get the interception back, doesn't create a fumble, but it's probably going to allow the defense to give up some more points and probably hurt their defense more than their offense here. Has nowhere to go for Mike Davis. It's going to be only a gain of -3?
Yeah, that's just a little gain of -3.
So we got a nickname for Gerber yet? Let's ask in the chat, see if anybody can come up with one.
Something other than Gerber's shortcake, please. 2nd and
goal.
goal.
He came in the YouTube chat. He said the same thing. Let me see what JY said. JY said, as Gerber's rolling, looking, just throws it away. Nice decision right there by Gerber. Let's see. Let me see if I can scroll back to what he said when he originally.
I saw somebody. I don't remember who it was. Somebody posted Jack the Ripper. That's pretty good.
I said that to Hop a couple days ago.
That's a pretty good nickname.
Something. Yeah. That's not bad. No, I mean it kind of makes sense.
Davis trying to find something up the middle. He'll go down after a gain of 1. I think that was Hackenberg, or excuse me, that was Gerber's first incompletion. That chuck. Decadog trying to push #Goatberry, which just doesn't sound appetizing at all. As the kick is up, it's good. 38-14, your score now. 5:12 to go here in the 4th quarter.
He said, he just went in there and complimented him. He said, Gerberry's shortcake is perfect so far. I mean, Gerberry's shortcake? No. I can't.
All I can picture is like Jack Gerber in like a little bonnet. Like, that's not, nobody wants that. There's nothing intimidating about Gerberry's shortcake. But, I mean, let's look at this NFC East division. The New York Giants are surely, unless, I don't know, a meteor strikes the Minnesota Vikings, are going to drop to 6-5. The Redskins are at 5-5. The Dallas Cowboys, who seem to have been written off, are at 4-7, only 2 games back. The Eagles are at 1-10. They're probably not going to win the division, but hey, Deck, I believe in you. You can do it. As the handoff to Marlon Petway over the left side, and a little more of the same.
Gosh, this 57 is everywhere. I mean, who is this number 57 on the Minnesota Vikings? But he is everywhere. He's pass rushing. He stops the run on the outside. I mean, he might be one of the best right outside linebackers I've ever seen in the NBL.
Ben Gedeon is his name.
What's his overall?
79. He's as Hagenberg completes over to the right side to Evan Ingram. first down for the New York Giants. Ben getting 79 overall out of Michigan, third-year player. Playing out of his mind right now. And he hasn't really had this sort of game yet. I mean, you're looking at his last 4 games. He has 4 tackles, 2 sacks, though, and an interception, a forced fumble. So he's sort of been a do-it-all sort of player. But today he has been all over the field. 1st and 10 for the New York Giants and Christian Hackenberg. Why not? Let's run it on first down again. Finally, a little room for Petway. He gets taken down by Sutton at the 49-yard line. But just this division... I mean, with the injury to Davis Webb, he'll be out for a couple more weeks. The Redskins, again, struggle with that identity problem. The Dallas Cowboys, they beat the Cleveland Browns this week, a team that has been all over the map. I have no idea who's going to come out of this division because nobody seems to want it very much right now.
Yeah, you got to want it.
Oh, deep shot. He's got a man. He's got a step, and Hackenberg up for him. All right, well, carry on. 13.
Oh, when you got an opportunity to make a play, you just overthrow him, and then it kind of goes away. But a nice read right there. Nice throw. I don't know where the deep blue on the far left, the corner, ended up going. Maybe he trailed and followed with the crossing route, but left it wide open, naked on the left side of the field, on the weak side of the field for Evan Ingram. But just an overthrow there by Christian Hackenberg. Who wants it? Maybe the Cowboys want it. Maybe the Cowboys want to do a back-to-back and come from behind.
Deep throw over the middle. It is complete. Boy, Hackenberg relying on Evan Ingram in this game. 14 completions for Christian Hackenberg. And it feels like about 13 of them were to Evan Ingram, who's having a nice game for the New York Giants with no Odell Beckham, his 5th catch on the day. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Play action pass for Christian Hackenberg. He looks over to the flat. It is complete to Petway, who steps out of bounds at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the play. It's not out of the realm of possibility the Dallas Cowboys get hot late. They got hot late last season. And just nobody's taking control in the NFC East. And frankly, I still think the New York Giants are the best team in this division once Davis Webb gets healthy. It's a matter of if Christian Hackenberg can keep this boat from sinking, as that one almost intercepted, or if the Washington Redskins can find some semblance of an offense to get rolling.
Man, and the Redskins need to take a look at this game and say, hey, man, maybe we run some man coverage against these New York Giants. I know they don't have Odell Beckham, which is a game changer, because he will absolutely shred man coverage. But, man, you're just really seeing a lot, and I mean a lot, of man coverage from this Minnesota Vikings team, and you don't see the Giants really adapting to this at all.
First down there, the completion to Marlon Petway. Yeah, look at the Washington Redskins sitting there at 5-5. One of the worst offenses yardage-wise, 26th in rushing yards, 22nd in passing yards with Zach Belisari at the helm. Samaje Perine had some flashes of brilliance. Defense has been holding this team up, number 5 in terms of yards given up, number 4 in terms of rushing yards. Stopping the run very well, and they've got a top 15 pass defense as well. Quick 3-step drop by Hackenberg. He looks to the fade route to the outside. That's not Odell out there. You can't run that play anymore. But Zach Belisari, 13 touchdowns, 18 interceptions, 82.1 quarterback rating. He's thrown for 2,000 yards. It's just a matter of, it seems like this Redskins team has found a way to lose every close game and every game that was sort of a 50-50 ball.
Yeah, and that's what the Redskins do. When you don't have an identity, you find yourself in close games and just find, you find yourself not able to essentially pull away with games like that.
Yeah, you look at their schedule. They lost by 3 to the 1-10 Eagles. Their only win over the Washington Redskins in Week 2. Lost by 10 to the Seahawks. They've beaten the Cowboys twice. They beat the Rams only by 3. Then they lost to the 49ers by 10 as Hackenberg rolling, and hey, give the fellow his rushing touchdown as he didn't see anyone open, runs it right up the middle. And then this Giants team beat these Washington Redskins last week by 3. It's just a matter of, it just seems like the Redskins, they struggle with that identity problem. Samaje Perine hasn't solidified the rushing attack, and Zach Belisari, it seems like he'll go for a 4-touchdown game bomber, and then the next day he'll throw for 4 interceptions.
Yeah, no identity. I mean, inconsistency. I mean, Belisari, this team is full of all those kinds of negative connotations about him because, they just really don't know what they really are. I mean, they're 17th in defense and 18th in offense, and they just need a little bit of help. A little bit more than what they average to win games, and in close games, they always seem to sputter. They still do play the New York Giants in Week 16. As you said, they played them in Week 11, which was last week, and they lost 27-24. They lost this week to the Ravens in a game which they were inside the red zone 4 times in the fourth quarter and came away with 0 points. So this Washington Redskins team is really, really, really struggling.
Oh, boy, Davis up the sidelines. He's got a lot of room. He's up to the 20, to the 10. Stop and go just to make him look silly. Another touchdown for Davis. The run game has been absolutely blown open here in the second half. The fact that the New York Giants defense should know the run is coming. Davis has said, well, I know I got Dalvin Cook in front of me, but I still got some wheels. He goes 71 yards for his second touchdown of the day. 3:09 to go, and Minnesota's looking to put up a 50-burger here in New York.
Yeah, that was probably the nail in the coffin there for this game. It looks to be over right now. 3 minutes left. The only thing left is Hackenberg to throw one more interception. If you're the Minnesota Vikings right now, you have to be very happy. You went through a little stretch where you played some tough teams, and now your schedule gets a lot easier. The remaining schedule is going to be a lot easier, and you've kind of proved to yourself, hey, man, we're dropping 30, 40 points a game in like a stretch of like 7 games. We're looking very tough right now. We're ready to win something in this league right now, and I think they're one of the hottest teams in the league.
I'm sorry, but how does anyone lose to Seattle, man? First of all, hashtag 150 million is the deep pass over the right side. It is complete down the field. Boy, Hackenberg put some air under that one. Was able to find Petway on the wheel route. How does anyone lose to Seattle? First of all, hashtag 150 million. Second of all, they old, they slow, they play horrible in every NBL live regular season game. The Seahawks team sitting there at 7-3, and they've got the top defense in the NBL. I know that they are getting old and aren't the most spry defense, but they're playing a whole lot better out in the NFC West, and that division no longer a gimme as Hackenberg breaking tackles in the backfield. Stopped, just chucks it out. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, that was a tough play there. This Seahawks team, I think, is just playing up to where people expect them to play, Bomber. I mean, is that wrong to assume that there's a lot of talent on that defense? I know it's not the youngest, but they're finally playing where they should be.
Yeah, there is a lot of talent on that team, and they're finally starting to come away and be the team that we thought they could be. As the New York Giants are in a 3rd and 14. I'm sorry, I'm just watching this game and waiting for this interception. I know it's incoming. I'm just seeing where's Hackenberg going to force this down the field. It's 3rd and 14 now. It's got to happen today.
3rd and 14. He's looking over the middle of the field. Has a man. It's complete. It's Evan Ingram. Touchdown Giants. The Minnesota Vikings playing a little soft here. Just letting this game go along. New York has been able to put up some points. They're going to make this game look way more respectable than it has to be.
They're going to go for 2 here. I was trying to make it a 15-point game.
Well, that didn't go well, as I think that was Sutton getting in the backfield once again. Down goes Hackenberg. 45-28 your score, folks. Stick with us to the end of the game. We'll have our NBL live selection for our player of the game as the onside kick. Only 2 guys over there, and they still recovered it. So that's been sort of the game for the New York Giants. We'll have our NBL live.
Why not just kick the field goal, go down 16, then kick the onside? You got an opportunity to score a game there. I don't understand the going for 2. Right then, just to make sure, put yourself out of the game. Mathematically.
I got nothing. This Giants team, it's 11 carries, 165 for Davis, and 2 touchdowns, all in the second half, basically. But we'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game selection for Broadcast 173. Get your suggestions into the chat. You can check out all of our Player of the Game selections on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Under the NBL Live tab, you can check out sort of a look back to Broadcast number 1, Bomber. It's a sweet look back at NBL history.
Yeah, absolutely. You get to see essentially where we came from when we started, the honors, who's won this, who's won that, and that's the things that you look for when you are, looking to join a league. Also, check out LeagueCrawler.com. We were the League of the Year 2 times in a row there. Daddy League's League of the Year 2 times in a row. You can find that on 365.com, 365.maddenbomberleague.com on the history page. So there's a lot of cool stuff we got going on here.
They're still throwing it out there as he finds Stephon Diggs, Jack Gerbery. 15 of 16, 290, and 4 touchdowns. That one incompletion, that was down on the goal line. It was just a little chuck out of bounds to make sure he didn't get sacked. Jack Gerbery's making a name for himself today, folks, as the Minnesota Vikings coming out up 45-28, minute 35 and counting. No timeouts being taken right now by the New York Giants. They look pretty content to be done with this game and forget about this one, as the Minnesota Vikings have absolutely blitzkrieged the New York Giants without Davis Webb, without Odell Beckham. The offense looked lost until late in the game when the Minnesota Vikings really backed off on their coverage. Now 1st and 10, Hutchins coming in motion. We're going to run that little end around with Hutchins. He got about 14 yards on that play in total yardage. Only gets 4 positive yards, but he gets up to the 30-yard line. It looks like the Minnesota Vikings are just going to come out in victory formation and walk away with a win in this one. What a performance by Jack Gerberry. What a performance by the Minnesota Vikings as he takes a knee, and that's going to do it in this one. Your final score, 45-28, Bomber. This New York Giants team is in trouble without Davis Webb, without Odell Beckham. They're in the lead in the division. They will still have the lead. They'll be up there, but this team looks lost without them, and they need to get healthy or need to find some sort of offense that works with Christian Hagenberg.
Well, I mean, the positive you can take away, Hackenberg made a couple really poor decisions. You can kind of clean the poor decisions up. A couple poor throws, I think you're going to have to live with those. But overall, I don't think he was throwing so wildly and so off. He completed a couple down the field. He missed a couple. You're going to have to live with those, as I just said. But I don't think he was just horrible. I just think some of the decision-making was kind of bad. And then he had an unfortunate event on a dig early in the game that bounced right off his receiver's head and got intercepted. So those are the things that you can probably hope don't fall your way, and you can clean up kind of the rest. I think they'll be okay, man. I don't think the Redskins really have it in them. The only team I'd really be worried about is the Dallas Cowboys.
It's time for our selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game here for broadcast number 173. And it's weird to be looking at a game where you had a running back go with 11 carries for 165 in 2 touchdowns, and it's not even a question that he's not the player of the game. Jack Gerberry, 15 of 16, 290, and 4 touchdowns. He was perfect today for the Minnesota Vikings, Bomber, and this guy has made a name for himself as one of the top quarterbacks here in the NBL.
Yeah, I think he had his best game as a pro right there. Gerberry looked phenomenal. I mean, this was his best game I've seen him play. He looked sharp against the Giants defense that really looks like they're aging and regressing as a secondary, and they really picked on Janoris Jenkins. I don't think he'll be back with the New York Giants next season. That might get exposed if they're in the playoffs again and they see each other. I'm interested in seeing that matchup, how Gerberry attacks Janoris Jenkins again, and if the Giants make any kind of adjustments, because they've lost Davis Webb for a while, and I think Odell Beckham's out for the rest of the season. So I don't know about these New York Giants, but I do think they limp in. I just don't know if they get any playoff wins. But back to Gerberry, I think he had a phenomenal game. Gerberry, I mean, arguably, best rookie quarterback this season. I'd say rookie of the year.
And there have been there are some good rookie quarterbacks out there. I mean, this is a year.
Yeah, he wasn't the best one coming out of college. He definitely has showed that he's at a different level right now than where the other rookies are at.
Jack Gerberry, your NBL Live Player of the Game selection for broadcast 173. And you can check out all of our Player of the Game archives. That's on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. That's also where you can check out the application if you want to join the grid, the developmental league of the NBL, and work your way up to the NBL. We'd love to have you as we're heading into the February months and getting out of football season. We'd love to have as many people apply and want to join the grid. No game next week here on NBL Live, off for week 13, but we will be back for week 14. As we go down week 14 through 17, we're going to bring you the best playoff matchups, folks. We're going to be bringing you the matchups that have the most playoff implications. I believe week 14, Bomber. We have a matchup between the undefeated right now, Los Angeles Chargers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe that is the game we were going for week 14. That should be a powerhouse matchup here on NBL Live.
And what team is it again? Let's say it again.
That would be the undefeated Los Angeles Chargers and the defending Super Bowl champion Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, I mean, they weren't the Super Bowl champion, but, I mean, sure. You know they lost last year, right?
Defending
AFC champion, yes, absolutely. Against the up-and-coming, who we thought was going to be one of the biggest rivals in the AFC, these two powerhouse teams. Man, that's going to be a great game. That's going to be a game. I think it's the Chargers' year right now. Chargers look great. The Vikings look great. These are two teams on the up and up, rising. Chargers haven't lost a game yet. If they can stay undefeated, I sure would love to see if those old Pittsburgh Steelers could come out and kind of put an L on the one in their loss column heading into the playoffs.
I think the Steelers are going to be getting healthy at the right time as we get towards the end of the season. That's the game I believe we were going for week 14, but no game next week. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live. You can also follow us on Twitter at Bomber League. That's where we announce all of our games as they are scheduled. But that's going to do it for us, folks, here from NBL Live Broadcast 173 for my co-host, Bomber. I'm OSU. Your final score once again, the Minnesota Vikings come out on top 45-28 over the New York Giants. We'll see you in 2 weeks for week 14 action right here on NBL Live.